What up, folks? What up, folks? This is kind of a part two to the "You don't need to be, you better hype your hubby up" video. This is part two to that, and I'm making part two because yesterday I saw something that touched my soul, that spoke right to the spirit of that first video. You should check it out if you haven't seen it. You don't need to be, you better hype your hubby up. I went to a wedding yesterday. And at this wedding, you know, it was a nice wedding. Bride and groom did their thing or whatever. But at the reception is when the situation that happened. It was time for toast, led by the best man and the maid of honor, or whoever the high-ranking person is on the bride side. I think it's the maid of honor. But when the best man came up to give his speech, you know, he first it started out with, he introduced himself. "Hey everybody, I'm so and so," and his wife, who was in the peanut gallery, "That's my baby." Like, the pride in her voice, that was her baby, was like. And then you know, you can tell they got this type of relationship, like, you know, a high energy relationship. But when she said that, he kind of, like, you know, gave little hand signals. They did little hand signals to each other. And now, you know, and of course a wedding, you know, typically you amongst family and close friends, you may not, unless you're the bride and groom, you may not know everybody, but you know, it should be a pretty comfortable environment or whatever. But you know, but that's how it started. He gave his name, and she was like, "That's my baby," da da da. So it's like, off top, whatever you say, I got your back. So as the speech went on, and of course in his speech he talked about the groom and their relationship, and his relationship with the bride, you know, up until that point. And he went to the deep portion of the speech, you know, the portion of the speech where you offer some sage wisdom, or even just look for scripture to back up, you know, the message that you're trying to get across. He said something, I wish I could even remember what he said, but the important part, it wasn't even what he said. He had his hype woman. Wasn't nobody gonna hype him up more than his wife was gonna hype him up. And that's exactly how you should be with your man. I mean, women, as I mentioned in the first video. And because of this, I'm sure she get whatever she wants. He do for her, because that's his cheerleader. That's his number one cheerleader. He done found himself a cheerleader. And so she just kept hyping him up. They did like a hand thing, chest bump thing. It was exactly in the spirit of, you don't need no beat, you better hype your hubby up. The guy I was with, the other, I do videography on the side. So the guy I was working with, as the night went on, he referenced that. We referenced that with each other. So he was like, you know how when the best man was giving his speech, you know, and he was like, you know, that's what's up, right? That's how relationships supposed to be. That's the type of relationship I strive for. Where we just like in sync, like, you know. And he didn't say these words, but just basically, I got a cheerleader, man. Like, if nobody else gonna hype me up, she gonna hype me up. If nobody else gonna be my amen corner, just in that situation, like, if nobody else gonna be my amen corner, she gonna be my amen corner. And that was just like the spirit of that video in full flesh. And I hope the same way it seemed to have inspired my working partner, I hope it inspired other people to have a relationship like that. I hope, you know, most men in there was like, dang, that's nice, man. Like, that's nice to have somebody like that who gonna boost me up, man. And I hope other women were inspired by her, and I hope they're inspired because they realize they have a good man They have a man who pretty much the man of their dreams, you know, or even better than what they dreamed of. Hype that man up, man. Like, if all he says, hey, my name is Roger, that's my baby right there. That's my baby. And they probably went home and made a baby. No, I'm joking. They probably didn't make a baby because, you know, when you already have a few, you probably really don't want to make more. Not that you don't love your kids, but, you know, you just like, okay, we have enough. But anyway, but I'm sure they did the do that lead to making babies. I'm sure the rest of that night, he was like, I'm about to tell you what when we get home, or in the car, or let's go to the bathroom. Something. I don't know. But you don't need to be, you better hype your hubby up. Part 2.